Hello everyone, I'm Maggie, and if you're struggling with English and want to improve your communication, this is the channel for you. Are you using the future correctly? Are you sure?
I don't know.
A lot of English learners use will and be going to as if they mean the same thing, when they don't. In reality, native speakers use those forms and other forms of future for different purposes depending on the situation. I'm going to explain how to distinguish between future forms based on two simple categories: predictions and plans. This is what we use the future for. So, predictions. Predictions are things you have no control over. Weather forecast, foreign exchange rates, business forecasts. So those predictions can be talked about with will if you have no current evidence, or with be going to if you have current evidence. So, for example, will, prediction without current evidence. An example: the market will crash if this trend continues.
Unsolicited. Unsolicited.
So let's see an example with will for predictions without current evidence. The market will crash if this trend continues. So here's an example with conditional. Because you don't have current evidence, you are going to have to use will. Now, let me give you another example using be going to. If you go to a sales meeting and you're going to talk about your forecast, you want people to feel that you know what you're talking about. So everything is based on a study, on current trends, statistics. So you're going to say, our sales are going to increase next quarter. You use be going to. So, second category, plans. For plans, you can use will for spontaneous decisions and promises. So, for example, using will for spontaneous decision, I'll call the supplier right now. I didn't have any plans on calling the supplier, so that's why I use will. An example of promise: we will deliver the order by Friday. So that's a promise you make to the client. If you like the content so far, click on that button. It helps us a lot. And we can also continue producing contents of your choosing. So thank you. And let's continue. The second case, be going to. Be going to for intentions. For example, we are going to launch a campaign next month. It's an intention. We haven't arranged anything yet. Third situation, present continuous, for future arrangements. For example, the CEO is meeting the investors next Wednesday. It's already been arranged. So, did you get it? Will for spontaneous decisions, be going to for intentions, and present continuous for arrangements. So it's always easier to remember those rules with a story. And I'm going to share a story that I always tell my students. I think that it's simple and it might help you there. So let's start. One day I wake up and I look at the mirror and my face is a little gray, a little greenish. And I look and I say, oh my God, I will see a doctor. At that point, I had no intentions to seeing a doctor, but looking at my face in that way, I decided. I take my shower, get ready to work, go to the kitchen to have breakfast, and I run into my son. And my son comes to me and say, good morning, Mom. What happened to you? You don't look well. And I say, I know, I am going to see a doctor. Because by then, the decision has already made and it became an intention. So I drive to work. On my way to work, I call the doctor and make an appointment. So the arrangement has been made. I get to the office, I see my colleague who comes to me, greeting me, and he says, "Are you all right? You don't look like yourself." And I say, "I know, I am seeing a doctor." Because by then, I had already made the arrangement with the doctors. And then my colleague, being so nice and all, he says, "You have to take care of yourself, Maggie." And I say, "I will." And that's a promise. Got it? So to recap, we use the future for predictions, okay? So will for predictions without current evidence, and be going to for predictions with current evidence. For plans, we use will for spontaneous decisions and promises, and be going to for intentions, and present continuous for future arrangements. Got it? Not so hard. If you like this video, please click that button. I say it again. Leave your comments. I'll be happy to produce content on your choosing, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.